So today our tip is making gratitude an action. Oh, what is that about? Because we talk about how important it is to be grateful. And one of the things that is very prevalent in, on the internet, if you do anything about inspiration or having less stress, they talk about gratitude and how it's impossible to be in gratitude and be miserable at the same time. When in the autism world and in the ABA world, we look at this, these are conflicting things. Because you can't, it's, if your child likes to chew on their fingers and you give them something to do with their fingers that they really like to do, like playing a video game, they can't do both at the same time, right? It's a conflicting behavior and you can use this to your benefit. So gratitude is a conflicting behavior. It's impossible to be in true gratitude and be miserable at the same time. So if we take gratitude and make it an action, and we know that action is the great depression buster. If somebody is feeling blue, taking action is one of the best things that somebody can do to take that away. Same thing with stress. So how do you make gratitude an action? Well, a lot of people have trouble with meditating. So one of the things that they choose to do instead is to list what are the 5 things that they're most grateful for in this moment. And that's how it becomes an action. It really becomes a meditation that you sit someplace quiet. It can be, by the way, in your car. I think that your car is one of the best places in the world to meditate. And I always say, when you get into your car to go someplace, take a second. It doesn't even have to be a minute. I was going to say take a minute, but the truth is, it doesn't have to be. It can be 3 slow breaths in and out to center yourself. You will be a better driver. You will be safer, and your stress load will be lower. Even if especially if you're in a rush, taking that 3 inhales, 3 exhales is great. But with those 3 inhales, I'm saying let's bump it to 5. If 3 breaths is great, let's take it to 5. And instead of just concentrating on the breath, which you can do, something that you can also do is with each inhale, think about something that you're grateful for. And, you can really tell where your mental state is if you go, I don't really have anything to be grateful for, right? And there are moments in everybody's life where you may feel that, but if you stop for a second and think, well, that's not true. It can be as simple as I'm grateful for the use of my legs. Any of you who have ever had any kind of back or leg injury where you could not use your legs, oh my goodness. For those of us who have the use of our legs, even if your legs hurt and you have to limp and use crutches, man, the use of your legs is something to be grateful for, right? And you can take it to that level. You can be grateful for being able to breathe. Talk to somebody who has COPD, man. They would give so much to be able to take the breath that you and I can take. And if you have COPD and you're doing this exercise, then, what else do you have that you're grateful for? Maybe it's the use of your hands. Everybody has something that they can be grateful for. And, you can be grateful for your life. You can be grateful for, friends and family that you have in your life. We don't always have the choice of being grateful for being healthy, but when you do, own that, man, that's a powerful, powerful thing. I remember when we were in a pretty place and really struggling with autism, struggling with being able to keep a roof over our heads, me struggling with health issues, man, it was looking nasty and ugly. And I remember a friend and a former student of mine asked it was a big birthday that she was having, and she said, I don't want presents, but what I'm asking for is either people to come to lunch with me on this day, or would you come to my church and just come to church with me? That's what I'm asking for my birthday. Well, I didn't have any money to go to lunch, right? That couldn't happen, and this was somebody that I cared about, and it was a big birthday for her, and I thought, well, I certainly can go and sit in her church for a sermon. And it was bring kids with you, and I thought, oh, they're going to kick me out. I got a kid with autism who's going to be screaming. They're going to kick me out. I'm going to go and sit in. And it was amazing because what her minister talked about was gratitude for that day, and it was a message that hit me wholeheartedly because I had left my kitchen a mess. And I thought, I don't even want to go home because I've got dishes everywhere and I don't want to do the dishes. And I was really in that space about it. I really don't want to do the dishes. And it was like the minister read my mind, because he said, I want you to remember that everything that's kicking your can right now, there's somebody that would be grateful for that. And I thought, I doubt that. And he said, you know, there's a homeless person right now who would love to have the dirty dishes that you have, because it would mean that they had a roof over their head and that there was food that had been eaten, and that's why the dishes were dirty. And I was like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Did he just read my mind? Did he just read my mind? And it really brought home for me. It was so powerful for me because it was exactly the example I was thinking about. And I realized, yeah, somebody would be grateful for my dirty dishes. So making gratitude an action is a powerful, powerful thing. And it is amazing how 5 inhales and 5 gratefuls shifts your focus, lowers your stress, and reminds you that you do have stuff in your plus column. Sometimes it just feels like the negative column is 7 miles long. But there is nothing like looking at 5 things to be grateful to go, you know what? It's not all bad. It isn't all bad. I got some amazing things. And I find that the day goes differently after something like that. We all know what it's like. I think about Nancy being back with us yesterday and how hard the last year was for Nancy, losing her husband, and how hard it is without him every day now. And I know, because she and I had conversations before we knew that Reed was going to go fast, where it was really hard taking care of him and his health, and it was just really hard. And yet now, today, she would give anything to have that day back, even the hard day when he was here. So no matter what you're going through, I want you to remember that there's something to be grateful for. And somebody in your life might be really sick, but be grateful that you have them with you today. And when you put your head into that focus, I would watch Nancy. There would be days that it was really hard, and she would say to herself, but he's here today. And when she would think that, then she got to experience the blessing of him being there and be in the moment with him, instead of being in the moment of, you know, we're going to plan a funeral. That was the reality. That happened anyway. Be in the moment and appreciate the gratitude that you have. Make gratitude an action. It's great for your stress. It'll keep you here longer.